My name is Brenda Mercer. I used to be the cultural coordinator at Meossin Friendship Center, but now I have my own business called White Horse Rider Company, and I base that name off of my Indigenous name that was taken away from us from the Indian agent in the early 1900s. I'm Dakota Sioux. I come from Standing Buffalo First Nation, and in my language, my name would be Wakangu Washte Win, which means good sweetgrass woman. I was just gifted a Blackfoot name about a year and a half ago, and it's called Agakamataki, and it means many blessings woman. And I can tell you that I've had so many blessings since I've had that name. I'm just so very fortunate. So a little bit about my background. I've been beading since I was 8. My non-Indigenous cousin taught me. When I was 8 years old, she said that I could learn to bead, but I could learn only if I really listened. So I took all my will and I listened and I learned how to do it, and I was so proud, and the first thing I got to do was the daisy stitch. And then I was just hooked. I would bead rings and bracelets and necklaces to gift to people, and I just loved doing that. I think it's a way of connecting to my elders, because I feel like my grandparents, my great-grandparents, everybody was fantastic at beading and quill work and things like that. So I just feel very connected to them when I do that. I'm a 60 scoop survivor, but I like to call myself a 60 scoop thriver, because I feel like survivors, like, you're kind of a victim, and I don't feel like I'm a victim, I'm a thriver. My main goal is to be able to teach my children, my grandchildren, and my great-granddaughter now, and to be able to stand up and be proud of it as being an Indigenous person, I think is very important. I make a lot of drums. I hold drum workshops. I make rattles. I do beaded earrings like the ones I have on. They've got deer antler on the inside. And everything I do, I make with love. I think that's so important. Like, if you're frustrated or if you're angry or anything, I never do anything, because I feel like everything that you do goes into what you're beading. And I want to make sure that my best love and all my good intentions go to the next person who purchases it. Sometimes in medicine hats, what I've done in the past is carry a whole bunch of earrings or bracelets in my purse. And let's say I meet you at Superstore, and now I know you've got 30 seconds because you're in front of me, and I'll say, you know what, I absolutely love your hair. And I'll pull out of my purse a pair of earrings, and I'll say, I made these especially for you, and I made them with all my love and good intention, and I'd like you to have them. And you know, I've had people come up to me 2 or 3 years later, and they cry and they say, Brenda, every time I wear the earrings you gifted me, I feel your love. I feel it. So I'm just very blessed. And I think doing that, it's really important to bridge the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous. Because for me, quite often, you know, people look at the differences. I like to look at similarities, and I feel like we have a lot of similarities with different cultures around the world. I think one last thing I just want to leave you with is this. We talk about truth and reconciliation, but we also talk about the word reconciliation. For me, reconciliation is sitting around a table talking about things we could do, when rather I like to say reconciliation. And for me, reconciliation is getting up and doing, even if it's the smallest thing, because I feel like that affects people. And when you speak from your heart genuinely, I think that people are connected, and people will remember you because they now have a face to put to the story. Thank you so very much for taking the time to look at this QR code.